this is Judy. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Thank you for joining me here. Please subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. I really appreciate it. This video is going to be the second part of the scrapbooking workshop's Secret Garden from Close to My Heart that Stampin' Up picked up, and it is really pretty floral collection with really light pastel colors. It's just very pretty, as you'll see. If you didn't see the first video, I already posted of the first set of layouts. So the cutting directions here, this was the first layout that I did. Mine doesn't look like that. And the second page. It's similar, but not quite. So this is the second layout, and it has the honey butter with the peach behind it, and then a beautiful array of pattern papers for this page. And then these pieces are part of the zip strip from the top of the pattern paper, and they go over on here. Well, there's a couple here. And then some of the florals they put here. And this is the French vanilla as a base to give you a little something to put those pattern papers on. Second page is this one, and it has green photo mats, which I didn't cut out. I don't cut out photo mats until I'm ready to put my photos on because I'm not sure what size I'm going to use. And then it has some of the pattern paper down here. And let's see how they had it. I tried to give you a good representation of what they actually planned. And then this one will go here. This one with the coral or the peach. And then this, I think this one had the honey butter. And then a large honey butter here behind this photo. And then a bunch of the floral clusters. So the stamp set that came along with it is this one. And then it also comes with die cuts to make these flowers, and they're in there, but you don't see them. So I went through all of these and how I made them in the last video. I'll link it at the end of this video. This color combination of the peach and the honey butter is not pleasing to my eye. I like it in the florals, but I don't like it here. So I'm going to change up that peach for a different color, I believe. I'm going to have to look and see what I like. I'm going to be using photos from a retreat that I had that is a turkey trot, and it was mostly oranges. So the honey butter goes well with it. The peach, not so much. So I think I'm going to use the honey butter sides. And, you know, you can do this after you cut out all the pieces and use the same design and just change up the papers. It's completely your layout. You may do that. Now these, of course, because they're the peach color, will not match. So I'm going to put those away. That one's good. So let me get another base, and then I will show you the photos too. I found some Gold Rush, an old retired color. Well, they're all retired now, right? From Close to My Heart. And I really like how it looks. It just makes it much more rich and warm. I can't decide if I want the dark or the light side. I think the light side is not as bold and deep. Let me get the photos and we will decide. So the photos are candid shots of people at my retreat last November. And there's lots of different colors. Look at the turkey head Kim had on. That might have to be one of the top photos. And this one has the orange. Oh, that looks good there. So that might have to be a top one. Jane has a really pretty yellow sweater. There's yellow there, or orange on that one. There's orange on that one. Oh, there's yellow on there that Angela has. And all of these photos will be in there. I'm going to put them in flip-flaps. So I'm just trying to determine which ones will be the main photos to lay on top, so that I have once you start flipping, you're really not going to look at all the photos behind. So I think those look really good. And I think it goes with the paper really nicely. All right. So now I'm going to ink the edges of my paper again. Oh, look at these flowers. They look really good with it too. Wow. Okay. I love when it comes together like that. I did bring an extra sheet of the Gold Rush out so that I can use it for photo mats. And then I will also use French vanilla mats just to highlight the photos. So we'll do a Gold Rush and a French vanilla for the bottom photo, and then put the flip flaps on top. So they will have a nice contrast. I'm also going to have them in like one 4x6 here and one 4x6 here, and the same on this side. So I will have to probably rearrange how I do the papers. I may have to do them sideways. I'm not sure, because these ones are cut wrong if I do them sideways, right? But I could, nope, that's the other side. But I have the ones from the first layout that were cut incorrectly. Where are those? No, these ones were cut to go up and down too. I might be able to do just the 3. Nope, that's I need another one. Okay. Well, that one doesn't look too bad. This is the sheet I have left. So I could do a strip here. I have enough paper left for that, so I'm going to do that. And then for this side, let's see. This paper can be like this for a base. These could definitely still go this way. And I think I will probably bring in another sheet of the French vanilla for the bottom. Then I probably wouldn't have to use one for a mat. So let me get a little bit more laid out and that other piece cut for this. All right, I'm going to be gutting my paper because that's a lot of cardstock underneath that I can use for other things such as photo mats. Now this piece of the honey butter is, let's see, 11 3/4. So it's a very small border that I'll use for this. So I'm going to actually cut it to a 1/2 inch. So I measure it to 1/2 inch on this side of this particular cutter, and whatever cutter you have, you'd use the same idea for this. This is a Fiskars. I love this trimmer. You just need new blades for it. Stampin' Up! Also has one. I haven't gotten it yet. And Close to My Heart had one that they came out with as well. It was very similar to Stampin' Up's, but I have this one, so this is what I use. So I'm going to start at the 1/2 inch here and go up to the 1/2 inch here. And then flip your paper and line it up at the 1/2 inch again. And start at the 1/2 inch here, go down to the 1/2 inch here. Lift and flip. And I'll do this for all my papers to save the inner part for something else. And if you don't get it precise and it's still connected, you can just use your scissors to snip that part to get it apart. Okay, so there's my frame for behind the yellow piece. I decided I'm going to ink the edges with pumpkin, but before I started inking, I wanted to show you what the base of the paper looks like. So these are my 3 layers: the Sundance, the honey butter, and the French vanilla. And then the back, this is what it looks like, which is pretty cool too, right? So you can see I gutted out the middle of those 2 pieces of paper so I can use them for something else. There are a lot of different ways that you can ink the edges of your paper to distress them. I like to use these little daubers. They're easy to use, they're cheap, and I just go around the edges like this. depending on the tool that you use will give you different looks, but this is easy. It's easy to control, so this is the one I like. And I only want a little tiny bit because this pumpkin is quite dark compared to the honey butter. So just a touch to get that edge to pop off of the base French vanilla there. See how it looks like that. And the difference between these two, you can see here. Okay. I also want to do a little bit of splattering, so I brought out my shimmer brushes. These are from Close to My Heart. Now, whoops, you got to shake them until you hear the ball rolling. And Winkostella is another type of shimmer brush that you can get. These are no longer available, but I'll keep using them as long as they have ink in them. So I'll just take a block or sometimes you can use your finger, but my fingers have arthritis, so when I hit them on something, it hurts. So I'm just going to use an acrylic block. You can use scissors or anything that's hard, and then do a little tapping. If nothing comes out, then you might need to just squeeze these a little bit. And there's a part on the barrel that says push. So you push to get the ink down. Now, there's a lot of ink, so I have to be careful so I don't get tons of big splatters or anything. So that's good. I also want to do the other layout, so let me pull that in. And I also want to do Sundance, but before I do that, let me wipe this up with a piece of cardstock, because you never know what you can use it for. Oops, I got some on my, there's a lot of shimmer there. I got some on my finger now. I got to clean that too. So, and I store these like this so that it doesn't spill, because they have been known to leak. So now the Sundance will do the same thing. And once it dries, you can really see the shimmer start to come through. And the same with this one, so I might have to prime it. Let's see if any of it came out there a little bit. Love the look of splatters. All right, so that looks good. So we'll let these dry for a minute. The last video, I had to rearrange the 6 layers so that they were all spaced evenly. This one, because they had the array, it really didn't have a designation of spacing. But the way I'm going to do it, I need to space them correctly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the bottom one. And kind of do the same idea. Whoops, sorry about that. And let's see, we'll go, so these must be 8 inches. So we'll go from the 10-inch mark to the 2-inch mark. And about 1/8 of an inch in between here and here. And we'll line this up the same way. So the 10 and the 2. And now we're going to go in the middle. And then these 2 yellow ones will go in between. So I'm going to need to get my T-square ruler out for this one, because I will not be able to tell where the middle is here because it's a smaller piece. So hang on. So I'm going to take this piece, and these are 2 inches. So I will want it to be, I need to flip it at the 7 and 7. Make sure these are lined up there and there. Okay, and it will need to be at that line. At that line, because that's where it's lined up down here. Okay, so it looks good. And then these will go in between. Let's make sure they look good. A little more room here than there is here. That's all right. If anybody looks close enough and wants to measure it, They don't need to look at my scrapbooks because they'll find a lot of inconsistencies and not matching. That's good enough for me. So the whole idea is to get these photos down. My next retreat's in September, and I would like to have the album to have everyone look at. All right, so I like that. That is so pretty. Now let's do the other side. The side is done as well. So now I just need to get the photos and mat the bottom one, and then I can do the flip flaps. Figure out where I'm going to put a title and the embellishments. Isn't this just pretty? Okay, I'm going to show you a little trick on how to get the most photo mats out of a piece of paper. This piece of paper is from the inside of one of the frames. It's 11 inches by 11 inches. And I'll be able to get 1, 2, 3, 4 out of this one piece of paper. And I need 4, so it's perfect. So I'm going to line it up at 4.5 and go down to 6.5. Okay. And I'm going to flip it. And I'm going to go 4.5 again. And I'm going to go up. It didn't come all the way through. Okay, so there's one photo mat. And flip it and go 4.5. And if you have a full 12 by 12, you'll just have some strips of paper in between these. Especially if you do, let's see, the normal is 4.25 by 6.25. I'm just making these larger. All right, so I've got my 4 photo mats. That's a really cool idea to save on cardstock and how to get the most photo mats out of one piece. Got my photos arranged in the flip flaps, so I'll show you. So the top one flips up, and then this one flips up, and then the bottom one. And this will be on that mat. And if I get them centered correctly, they will have a little bit of the mat showing around the flip flap. Is the reason that I made a bigger mat. So to do the flip flaps, this one, take off the sticky, and then this one will go here. Line them up so they're together. Okay, so now we're going to put that photo and we'll stick it down so it's underneath this photo. Actually, we'll lay it down here and then put that photo over the top. And these flip flaps are very sticky, so you need to be careful. And there you have it. And then I cut whole slits in my page protector and slide these through. Because there's 4 photos here, I don't want to put it on the outside of my page protector, and that weight will weigh it down and make it bend. Even though the page protectors from Close to My Heart are very high quality, I still don't want to tempt fate. I will finish with those, and then we'll do the title and embellishing. We're getting all kinds of tips. So when you have a title like this, it was really sticky and it was getting all out of shape. Little bends where all the little very fine detailed lines are. I stick it onto my ruler, and then I can figure out where I want it, and I make sure that all the tops of the letters are on along the line so they're all correct, and then I can line it up with the lines on the ruler where I want to put it on my layout. That looks pretty good to me. So now what I'll do is I will just roll my ruler up, make sure they are where I want them. And then I'll just carefully unpeel it from my ruler. And if any of it, sticks and it doesn't come off, like the top of that H, I can carefully get it off with my fingers. And there we go. That looks a little crooked, so let's get some tweezers and pull that up. All right. Yeah, these stickers are really sticky, but if you readjust them right away, any sticker really, the longer it's on your layout, the more permanent the adhesion becomes. So if you get it right away, then it usually can peel it up carefully. All right, so that looks good. I'm going to get some flowers. So let's see, so they had 3 flowers here. There's that happy title, and that really didn't pop off of those papers either. And then Good Times, which I already used, and they had Love here, so I might be able to get that on the other layout that is a stamp. And then they had some of the dots. I haven't used any of the dots yet. There's a sticker there. I think I already used that. Let's look at the sticker sheet. I could use Sweet, Wonderful. I've got some leaves here. I used all of the florals. Here's a flower here I could use. Some of the hearts. And some of these I can use. I gotta figure out where I'm going to put the journaling. I think what I'll do is I'll put some white stickers on with the names of the people in the photo. That would be good. All right. So let's make a little cluster over here. I'm not sure if I like this white one or not. I might have to use one of these. I really like that. And I could layer it underneath here on this one anyways. So we're going to have the flower with Alice and pop that up on some foam. Let's see. That's really pretty. I like that. So we got some buds here. That looks cute too. That's a stamped leaf, so I could put that there. It doesn't really show too much, but that's okay. I'd like a little flower over here. Oh, that would be pretty there. I like that. Okay. I might go over this with some of the Sundance ink because this isn't, it's like really yellow. It might look okay because this one's really yellow. It'd probably be okay. I always do the matchy-matchy, and I need to realize I don't always have to. All right, so that looks good, just like that. So I'll get those adhered down, and we'll put some strips on these for names. And then we'll move on to the second one. So pretty. I just love this. The only thing I'm not happy with is the title isn't popping enough for me. One thing I can do, I could outline it with a black marker. I could have inked underneath it to make it pop up, but I thought being on the white it would work better. But I'm not happy with it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my shimmer brush, and this is the Sundance, and I'm going to carefully paint the happy and hope that I don't go off the lines or have ink splot or anything like that. So if I'm just really careful, it should be okay. And another thing, some stickers, you don't know if the shimmer brush is going to absorb into the paper. Some, stickers are coated, so you have to be real careful about doing this with those. But the brush tip on these is really nice. The bristles it's a high quality brush. I'm so sad that they're gone. But I have quite the stock of them, so hopefully they will last me until I can't scrapbook anymore. Who knows? I will have still photos at the end. Thank you so much for joining me. This is the second layout. I have one more to do. And I really like this Secret Garden collection. At the time I'm making this video, which is July of 2024, it is still available at StampinUp.com. I do have a link to my shop site in the text of this video. in the more button, you can go and look and get information on it. So, but if you have any questions, let me know. I'd be happy to help you out. And take care. Yeah, that worked perfect. Have a great day.